This is the DNUT 1-month overview reading for the month of February 2023. It's currently January 23rd, 2023, 7:54 p.m. Eastern Time. At the time of this reading, DNUT shares are $11.97 USD. So the overall theme and behavior, we have a notable breakout on the scale of a multi-day chart, at least a 1-month kind of scale. It's crossed, however, with a failed attempt to break through key resistance, followed by a decline through key support, again on the scale of a multi-day chart. It looks like that there's a breakout on the 9th, and then there's a failed attempt to break through key resistance. Yeah, so it looks like we dabble with it quite a few times, and the breakouts may actually be kind of like fake outs. But let's get into the highest high and the lowest low. So the highest high behavior out of an oversold territory or to fill a previous gap down, there's a notable move to the upside. This will stand out on a 1-month chart, reaching for to reach the highest high price level. And then behavior around the lowest low, we have the revisiting of an opportunity at a support level. In the midst of some sideways rotation with a sharp dip that'll stand out on the scale of a multi-day chart. So in the midst of that sideways rotation, there's a sharp dip taking us to revisit an opportunity at a support level or at a lowest low. So likely we see it twice, or we see it the lowest low, like again. It was in January or it's in March. We'd have to look into it, but we visited it once before, and it looks like that's probably what takes place here. There's a sharp dip. Let's get into it. So on the first, we have selling from an overbought crest or peak. There's a sell-off that'll stand out on a multi-day chart, followed by a rally somewhere between that sell-off and the second. There's a rally, but that rally is halted by a decline through a key support level on a multi-day scale. There's prominent trough on the second. Looks like we established support on a multi-day scale on the third, and then there's a prominent move to the upside, especially towards the end of the day on the third. The move to the upside would stand out on a multi-day. Then it looks like there's a gap down over the weekend. On the 6th, we have a move higher through resistance. We stay above it briefly, then we break back down through the same price level shortly thereafter with a full retracement. Makes like a capital A in the English language kind of pattern. Towards the end of the day is really where there's a notable decline, and then we have a prominent crest a prominent trough or low here on the 5th. All right, guys, so I just stopped recording in the middle of this DNUT shares reading. There's like a fire across the street. I can't see the flames or anything, but there's like a bunch of fire trucks. What's relevant is that this is a synchronicity. The alarms, they're blazing, they're lit up, and that's synchronized with the reading on DNUT. So there's something significant that's going to take place in the month of February for DNUT. Probably around the time. Wherever I was speaking prior to this interruption, that time in the month, like that, around that day, there's likely something to pay attention to, something significant or important there. So with that said, looks like there's on the 7th, there's a big drop overnight on the 7th to a prominent trough or low. This may be another low. Let me see, because we're going to revisit the low, right, towards the end of the month. Do we see a lowest low? Does DNUT's lowest price level of February 2023 take place on February 7th, 2023? Yes, it's the strength card, so big move out of that low. Yeah, okay, so likely that's another location where there's likely a lowest low, right? Because we're going to revisit it. It's a trade opportunity at key support. It's a trade opportunity at key support. Trade opportunity at key support. It all kind of goes hand in hand here. In any case, there's a fake out, an important fake out, shakeout on the 7th. Looks like it's to a fake out to the downside. On the 8th, we have a decline that ends with a fast sudden move higher. So we by fake out to the downside, I mean like it'll likely look like we're gonna go lower, but instead we turn around. Somewhere between the 7th and the 8th, because we have to be at a higher price level. We have to be at a higher price level there, so that the low ends up being on the 7th. So there's like a gap up or a rally there between the 7th and the 8th, and then we decline off of that gap up or rally on the 8th, declining, but the decline ends with a fast sudden move higher. Matter of fact, I'm going to put this lowest low here between the 7th and the 8th. So there's a fake out here, and the lowest low is on the 7th or 8th. Hard to say, but it looks like the decline ends on the 8th with a fast sudden move higher. That fast sudden move higher takes us to distant resistance level, almost a rational move to the upside for a distant resistance level on the 9th. Off of that resistance level, and that resistance level is a breakout. There's a breakout through key resistance level there on the 9th, but it doesn't look like it holds the following day. Early in the day, we have there's a trade opportunity, and we have this decline from near overbought territory on RSI. There's also something being spoken about on the news, most likely, or some sort of like conference or something, whatever it is, on the 10th, towards the end of the day. It's not to be trusted. It's deceptive. On the 13th, we have a failed attempt to break through probably the same price level that we broke out through on the 7th and then fell back down from somewhere around the 10th. On the 13th, we have that, and an unexpected move to the upside, a fast sudden move, unexpected move to the upside there to reach for a key resistance level. On the and we don't have a breakout. We have a failed attempt to break through that key resistance level there on the 13th, followed by a decline through key support. On the 14th, however, we do have a breakout through that key resistance. So it looks like we break out on the 9th, break back down through it on the 10th. On the 13th, we failed to break through it. On the 14th, we break through it again, followed by a decline through into probably into the 15th, where we have this decline with this consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. On the 15th, there's 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level, confirming a bullish trend towards the end of the day, taking us to a support level that on the 16th, that we decline to and through to meet another support level, rotate sideways along that support level. And then on the 17th, looks like there's a merger, an acquisition of some kind, or a decision between leaders that really impacts DNUT somehow. There's an important price level early in the day on the 17th. I'm advised to open up some protection there. And it looks like we have our highest high around the 21st and the 23rd, somewhere around there, with the lowest low, a revisiting of that lowest low that we had on the 7th, 8th. Either the same price level or lower there on the 21st, 22nd. So a lot of volatility. We have a failed attempt to break through key resistance again on the 21st. Followed by a decline through key support, and that price level is important to notate there early in the day on the 21st. Big decline. We rotate sideways on the 22nd. There's a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of that sideways rotation on the 22nd. That sideways rotation will be near the lowest low. The fast sudden move higher will take us towards the end of the day on the 22nd to a peak or crest. On the 23rd, we have a highest high again in the midst of some erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level. On the 24th, we have another prominent low that'll stand out, and there's some price swings, some sideways fluctuations with equal amounts of bulls and bears kind of battling back and forth as we move sideways along key support on the 24th. That's key support on a multi-day chart. On the 27th, we sell from down through support to meet another support. We rotate sideways along that support for a bit, bouncing back and forth maybe between support and resistance, and then we break down through multiple supports. Again, this is on the scale of a multi-day. We break down through multiple supports into the end of the day. There's a really notable drop, looks like towards the end of the day or overnight on the 27th, 28th. in a fast, really quick, easily missed peak. That's an opportunity there on the 27th. It's easily missed, and we declined through multiple levels through the 27th, 28th. The sneak preview for the following month, the disappointment card. My sense is that we're probably battling these price levels again. We'll falsely establish support based on the disappointment card. We'll falsely establish support sometime not too long after these highs here that we see, maybe early in March, and then we'll come back to meet these highs, and it'll look like we're going to break out, but instead we'll have a disappointment. We'll turn around and we'll decline through the falsely established support. And that's DNUT, guys. That'll take us into lowest lows in early March. Stay tuned for the best trades. If you've got the paid version, we're going to get into the best trades. At the end of this video, we talk about what the best trades are that we plan on doing. And it's really a great way to support the channel. For everybody else, please make sure that you follow the rule of karma. It's super important. Best way to do that is go to the website tarotfortraders.com and utilize the resources tab, either PayPal or Cash App. What we're looking for people to do is pay 5% forward. Somebody who needs it doesn't see it coming. That's how you keep the flow in the universe going forward, right? Pay 5% of it back to somebody. You know, for gratitude, you pay it back to the channel, right? 5% of the profits. And then that leaves you with 90%. Make sure whatever you spend that 90% on, you spend that money out of love. And as long as you do that, the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold in all directions, my friends. Much appreciated to all you out there that are doing that. It's really, really exciting to see how many beautiful people there are in the world giving back and giving forward. Stay tuned for the Q&A. I'll see you guys on the next one. This is the Q&A portion for price level information. And for those of you that are interested, we've got the February DNUT 1 month overview shuffle file created on January 12th, 2023 at 10:49 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this file here. Is DNUT's highest price level of February 2023 taking place on February 23rd, 2023? Yes. Is DNUT's highest price level of February 2023 taking place on February 15th, 2023? No. Is DNUT's highest price level of February 2023 taking place on more than one unique day of February 2023? No. Alright, so that's the high right there on the 23rd. Is DNUT's lowest price level of February 2023 taking place on February 22nd, 2023? I got a pleasure card, which is, I believe it's a yes. Just want to double check. It's an interesting card. It's a yes, okay. So we have a lowest low followed by a highest high there. Significant amount of price volatility here. Does DNUT's lowest price level of February 2023 appear on more than one unique day of February 2023? No. Alright guys, that's the Q&A for DNUT. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, my friends, make sure you follow that rule of karma. The best way to follow that rule of karma is to go to the resources channel or tab on our website, Tarot for Traders. Do 5% on PayPal or 5% on Cash App. Either way is super easy.